Welcome, Unnikrishnan, to Climate Action Live.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Unnikrishnan, you are the head of climate change at the Commonwealth Secretariat. Could you tell us about your mission and your latest work?
Being the head of the Commonwealth Secretariat, it's a great privilege to support the most vulnerable and the most emerging economies in the Commonwealth at the same time. So as the head of climate change section, our mission at the Secretariat here is to support the small and other vulnerable member countries with enhanced climate action so that the countries are better prepared to deal with climate and its climate extremes that we are now seeing over the years, actually. So the flagship programs as the Secretariat, what we are running currently, I think the most prominent among them is the Commonwealth Climate Finance Access Hub, which is supporting its member countries in access to climate finance. So we basically operate by embedding climate finance advisors at the country level and support them in access to finance. So far, we have supported around 14 member countries in access to around $330 million worth of projects, largely adaptation projects, which are real-time projects to support multiple sectors from water to sea level rise to soil water management, etc. And we also support the member countries in giving a lot of capacity building training, including negotiation trainings under this support that we offer. The other flagship initiative that I run in the Secretariat is the Commonwealth Living Lands Charter, which is basically a charter to provide integrated solutions to member countries working with the 3 Rio Conventions of the UN to work simultaneously with land, climate as well as biodiversity issues so that integrated solutions are provided to the member countries. So the other very prominent technology linked solution that we are providing, especially for the Pacific countries, is the use of geospatial information or the satellite data for climate-based actions. So this is basically under the program called Common Sensing, which is currently the use of geospatial information for climate action program of the Secretariat in collaboration with the UN Satellite Application Center, UNOSAT, and the UNITAR. So we are providing a lot of support to the member countries, and especially in countries like Fiji, Vanuatu, and Solomon Islands, where we have supported countries in developing project proposals. We recently had a good success in Fiji, where we have accessed around $5.7 million for a nature-based seawall project from the Adaptation Fund. The next major area of support that we are providing is on gender mainstreaming, so which is a very, very important area of work. We are trying to build the capacities of the gender constituencies and the gender ministries in the government in terms of more integrated and gender-linked climate action. So we also run a program with the NDC partnership, which is the multilateral wing that deals with providing supports on NDC implementation. So this is basically being done with many countries in the Asia Pacific as well as in the African region, where we have provided support not only in policy making and evidence-based policy building, but also in terms of climate budget tagging and other aspects which are very, very important for investment planning at country level. So these are the kind of wide range of work that we as a Secretariat are supporting currently for our member countries.
Well, Uni, it's incredible to hear that the Commonwealth are doing so much in relation to climate action for the Commonwealth countries, the 53 Commonwealth countries that are part of the Commonwealth. So it's June 2024. What's your assessment of the current situation in relation to our journey of protecting our planet and its people?
It's a difficult question to answer, but I'm an optimist. So definitely at the country level, we are facing the bigger challenge of development versus environment and climate. So definitely human development and economic development is a priority for member countries, and definitely most of the economic development trajectories are highly fossil fuel driven and also highly environmentally intensive in terms of resource use. So we are bound to have the climate and the climate impact coming up, and especially linked to the emissions. But what is more important to note is that the human ingenuity has basically provided a lot of solutions in this space as well. If you look at the conference of parties of the UNFCCC that has emerged from the initial COPs to the COP28 and the next COP29, which is going to be in Azerbaijan, we have seen a lot of progress in terms of the means of implementation, from capacity building to finance to technology, especially among the young people and also the new generation of entrepreneurs in this particular space. So I'm quite optimistic in terms of the solutions that are coming through, but we have a long way to go, and definitely we need to all stand together and provide solutions, because climate is something which is not bound by boundaries. So we need to cross boundaries and think aloud and think at scale so that these solutions are provided. And I see Commonwealth as a great petri case. We have small island states from very small countries like Nauru and Tuvalu having a population of 10,000 to 15,000 people, to countries like India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh with huge population and having multiple challenges. So it's a great opportunity for Commonwealth to play a leadership role in this space, to enable cross learning, and of course to see how best we can learn from our mistakes and provide a bright future for our new and especially emerging economies in the Commonwealth.
I want to ask you a phrase: no climate action, no peace. Could you talk to me about what you think when you hear that statement?
Oh, that's a very thought-provoking statement. Definitely, without climate action, the extent of economic instabilities and the extent of retraction of our economies from the kind of development gains that we have gained over the years is going to be substantial. So look, let us take the example of water, for example. In many of our developing countries, including India, Bangladesh, we see water is becoming a major challenge. And with the climate extremes and with the climate vagaries, water has become a major bone of contention for many economic stability and also social unrest. So if that could be taken as an example, it is supremely important for us to have more resilient conservation strategies. It is supremely important for us to have necessary, innovative, and context-specific financing made available to deal with these issues, to adapt to the kind of changing climates. Because if that is not done, number one, the cost of adaptation and the cost of resilience is going to increase multifold, and it's also an important aspect that will lead to social unrest, which will trigger many other economic instabilities and market instabilities that will impact the country undesirably in the long term. So it is a no-brainer to think that the climate action should be delayed. It is time to act now, and we should move now.
Given the global crisis that we've been speaking about today, do you think that humans have the ability to unite and stand together as one to protect our planet and each other?
Definitely, yes. I think we do have the strength, and I said the human genius has brought us to this particular level, and I'm sure the human genius will find the solution. And it's a great opportunity for our generation to be part of the solution. And definitely, we need to think. I think with the current insurgence of technology, including AI and the other computational abilities, I think the kind of sectoral ability to plan and devise investment strategies around climate action is really big compared to maybe 10 or 20 years before. So definitely this is a great opportunity for us to come together. And if you see, most of our regional groupings, from the G20s to the G7s to the G77 to the Commonwealth, we are all coming up with clear positions and strategies and advising the member countries in terms of how best best we can join hands to deliver the good, especially when the common property resources are shared between countries. And oceans is a great example now how we need to sustainably use the ocean to sustain the food resources, as well as to have more ecosystem resilience that will help craft the environment in a way that it is congenial for living. But of course, it's very heartening to see some of the developments over the last 2 years. Like, for example, in my homeland, India, I'm seeing like temperatures soaring above 50 degrees Celsius in the summer in places like New Delhi. And I'm coming from a state of Kerala, and I've seen tremendous increase in the temperatures. And we have never used air conditioners in our place, and now we are seeing air conditioners being randomly used in states like Kerala in India, where I'm coming from. And it's basically an eye-opener that the 1.5 and the 2 degrees that we speak at the policy level is being impacted at, and is actually at the doorsteps of the common man, where people are literally struggling to do their daily labor to win their daily meal, actually. So it's in our doorsteps, and it's time to act. But definitely I'm very optimistic that with the kind of jointed up action that the UN and the other multilateral systems are encouraging, we definitely will get into the solution track and the solution trajectory to meet the objective. But still, as I said, it's a long way to go, and we need to really work hard towards that.
Well, to that point, Uni, what advice would you give to people to make the most impactful contribution?
First and foremost, I'm father of two small children of 12 years and 9 years, and I'll probably start from there in terms of how you're bringing up your next generation with the environmental conscious way of living. It's basically a behavioral change that we need at this point in time to live in harmony with nature, and also to be less intensive in your carbon footprint. That's a very, very clear lifestyle linked angle. The second most important part is like how well we can use technology to monitor the systems, the social development parameters, etc., so that which is basically going to be more climate resilient, and it's less polluting and less maladapted. And the third and one of the most important aspect is finance. We need a lot of money for the developing and the small island and the least developed countries to now come out of this particular climate extreme situation with, at the same time, meet their development parameters. So they need a lot of financial support, which need to be like really fit for purpose and at scale. I think that is basically what now the Conference of Parties of the UN are trying basically to get the developed world in line with supporting with the financing needs. So the COP29 at Azerbaijan, and it's great to see Azerbaijan taking the leadership in discussing the new quantified climate finance targets this year, and we will look forward to support. Our Secretary General is quite proactive in supporting this cause, and we've been a kind of a voice for the small island states in this front, and we'll look forward to more action at COP and then further implementation actions, and we will do our best in terms of whatever we could support for our member countries to progress in this area of work.
Finally, Uni, if people would like to support the Commonwealth and its efforts to create a more peaceful and sustainable world, how can they best do that?
So Commonwealth, as I said, as part of the Commonwealth heads of government meetings, have very systematically intervened on these pressing issues. As I said, in 2015, the Commonwealth Climate Finance Access Hub, which is a very groundbreaking initiative, which was launched, and in 2016 we started implementing it. The Climate Finance Access Hub has so far supported around 21 member countries, and we are still going in force to support many of our member countries who are not supported yet. And similarly, the Living Lands Charter, the Commonwealth Blue Charter. So these are initiatives which are ready for action with a lot of base preparations already done. So it will be great to get associated with this as development partners, financing partners, knowledge partners, as well as entrepreneurs, basically to come together and support and learn. And I think, again, Commonwealth is a 56 country member body with a lot of variety of countries, as I said, from Nauru to India. So this is a great opportunity for testing many new innovative ways of dealing with climate extremes. And I will invite the partners, intellectuals, and member countries, and of course the other stakeholders in this space to get in touch with the Secretariat, and we will definitely be able to basically work together and take this whole process forward, actually.
Uni, thank you so much. We wish you and the Commonwealth the very best on your journey towards helping our planet. Thank you, Uni.
Thank you very, very much. It was great talking to you. And I think it's also an important juncture in the whole climate debate that we highlight the work we're doing. And more than that, would like to highlight our willingness to collaborate and work together as a team.
Thank you, Uni.
Thank you very much.